What is going on? My reefing fan March here. This is Fragbox TV, and I want to give you a little update on our PICO aquarium here in the shop. Why? Why would I be talking about such a small tank? Well, hello. First of all, welcome if you're new to the channel. This is a store here in Toronto, Ontario, and we specialize in American bulldogs. That is our specialty. We have nothing to do with fish or corals. We just talk to our stinky boy here named Diggs. I'm just kidding. No, this is what we do. Saltwater tanks. You're also the star of the show, but we're going to talk about you later. Everything to do with these lovely creatures, these animals. Are they creatures? Everything to do with saltwater corals. Now, we travel the world and we check out people's tanks, we check out other stores, we check out wholesalers, farms, we cover international trade shows from United States, all across Europe, all the way into Asia. I'm saying we, it's really me, but you guys come along for the ride with this camera. And we see a lot of big and cool and magnificent tanks, but when I started in the hobby 1.1 million years ago, I feel old. Wow, my birthday's coming up. I'm almost 34. I feel 54. Anyways, sidetrack. Let's get that out of the way. When I started, this was very uncommon. PICO, we didn't use the word PICO to describe small tanks. This is the Reef Casa flat 6-gallon tank designed by yours truly. And PICO, there was no word to describe anything this small. Nano, no, we still weren't even using that word. My first tank was a 15-gallon. And I was embarrassed to go into a store. I would actually lie and say that my tank was bigger because it was really frowned upon. People thought that you were stupid and silly and that you were wasting money and time, and maybe in some respects I was, but look where I am now. Haha, I showed them. No, but we've really come a long way where Nano Reef is now for us. In the last 5-10 years, this is the norm. Our #1 selling tank from the Reef Casa line is actually this one, and it's a little bit unexpected. I didn't think this one was going to do so well. So we've completely revamped the one here in the store. Yet again, if you guys have been following the channel, it's I just can't leave good enough alone. It's looking good, and then I get bored, and then I get an idea, and this is sort of the blessing and curse that is ADHD. But what are we doing now? I want to focus a little bit more on this lovely thing here called Twinkie, which is our yellow mantis shrimp. And you know what? He's playing really nicely with these fish so far. Look at this. We have actually 3 fish. I know I'm pushing it in a 6-gallon. It's a lot of fish. You probably responsibly should not have this many. 1 or 2 is okay. But these 2 are getting along. Our Springary damsel, he's looking great. We have our zebra damsel over here. They're not really showing any aggression towards one another. And then this kind of shy one in the back, we have our, believe this is a striped, come on, focus camera, striped cardinal fish. The mantis really is not paying them any attention. It could be because we're keeping him well fed, or he could just be a vegan. I have no idea. No, that's a lie. I've seen him smash little crabs to smithereens. It's actually really morbid, extremely interesting, and a lot of fun to watch him be the monster that he is. But you know what? He's really, oh yeah, there you go. That's so cool. He's really not such a monster because he's leaving the fish alone. I really thought that he would have taken them out by now. He doesn't venture far from this cave. That's really just his spot. If you guys want to know what we're doing in order to keep it looking this good, not a lot. We went to Poland this year, and this one shop that we went to check out, this guy said something that really just stuck with me. And he said that the worst thing for the aquarium is the hobbyist. Are you about to kill that conch? And he couldn't be more right. The worst thing is us. You know, when we just leave it alone and let the tank do its thing, that's when they really look their best. We overthink things. We have our hands in. We're tinkering. We're constantly trying to improve and add amino acids. And maybe I need iron or strontium. You know what? I haven't checked potassium or iodine. We don't need all that. Just do your water change, call it a day, or don't. Some people don't do a water change. Find what works for you and then just stick with it. With this tank, it's a water change every 2 weeks. And in the back here, we have no skimmer. We do a small water change, it's about 2 gallons. Lots of the Reef Casa Bacteria Hotel, the biomedia, lots of it, basically just filled the entire back chamber with it. Our Reef Casa floss and carbon, which gets changed out, the floss gets changed out weekly, and the carbon also, no, floss twice a week, carbon once a week. These are our newer bags. If you haven't seen these yet, what I've done actually is reduce the size of the bag. So I found the other one was just way too big, and our recommendation was change it monthly. I realized that was kind of a mistake because carbon exhausts quite quickly. After, I believe, 48 hours, it's 50% exhausted. So after learning that, I decided to change it. I went a lot smaller with the size. When I say I decided to change it, when I keep saying like me, I designed, this is our brand of tank in-house here, Reef Casa. So it's a lot smaller, and the idea is now you just change it more often. So instead of once a month, you just change it once a week. So more often, so your water is clearer more of the time, if that makes sense. Instead of letting it get exhausted over 30 days, every 7 days, I just took the same amount of carbon, divided by 4, new smaller bag. Works out to be basically the same price, and those will come with all the new tanks, and then you'll also see it come in a 2-month supply very soon. Something else I do, a little hack I will show you. This is a one-off stand we made here with a glass front and some funky LEDs and a power bar. The floss, I like to change it more often. You can change it once a week. What I do is actually take a big one and I split it into 2 or 3. And so again, instead of changing once a week, I'm changing it every couple days because I just want the water to look pristine. So it is a little thick, on the thicker side. And what you can do, let me see if I can manage, hold on, let me see, here's my tripod. I basically just go like this and I split it. So instead of once a week, I'll just change this every couple days, and I find that it keeps the water, again, sort of like the same idea with the carbon. It's just looking a lot clearer, more often. I'm changing it more often, but the water's looking better. I hope that's making sense. I feel like I'm using a lot of words to say the same thing over and over again. Other than that, really nothing else going on here. We're using, on this one, reef crystal salt. I really like the reef salt though from Aquaforest, and our kits come with one of the best salts if you want to start one. You can get it as a full kit, and that is the salt from Two Little Fishies, Accuracy. On the bottom, this is not a filter, this is actually just an auto top off, because as an open top tank it does evaporate quite a bit. I am prototyping a sort of like an evaporation cover, something like this, to keep evaporation down. I don't really like the way it looks. I might go with glass. It does bow a little bit because it's acrylic and it's just the nature of it, and you're going to end up with these droplets. So it's a little bit of a trade-off between, you know, aesthetics and functionality, because you get way less evaporation obviously if it's enclosed. So on the bottom here, I just have an oversized auto top off. Again, it's the Reef Casa one, huh? You guessed it. It's the new one. Actually, it's not released yet. This is our version 2, which comes with laser etched on the front, and it's got some cool modular options. This is a pull-out drawer, up to 100 pounds it can support. And in the back here, we've just laser cut it. So if you're brave enough to connect your RODI, I would never personally connect my water supply to this. You can with a float switch. And then we have cutouts for Duetto or Tunzi or whichever ATO you decide to use. I've designed it so that you have enough room here for your tubing to fit through. And this is 5 gallons, so it lasts us 2 weeks. Other than that, I feed the corals, I spot feed it, and that's it. We feed the fish, and we keep it really simple. So the whole idea with this one was to go, I wanted to really showcase what you could do with simplicity. So there's not anything really hard to keep in here. I've gone with mostly soft corals, and I want to add a lot of cool macroalgae. If you're watching this and you're in Canada and you have macroalgae you want to share, please contact us. I'm always looking for new ones, and I would love to add something, some more. So let me know what you think about the layout. It's really simple. It's sort of like, oh, look at that. He is so freaking cool. It's like a cave. It's like a one island. It's very different than what I normally do, because I normally do 2 islands. I don't have a lot of variation when it comes to scaping a tank. There's not too much you can do because you're a little bit limited by space. But what I said again was, this is our most popular tank. And it's not our cheapest. It's 200 Canadian dollars for 6 gallons. It's about 150 US. but we have trouble keeping this model in stock. I think because it's different. We have some new ones on the way. I'm right at the end of prototyping a Peninsula, so that should come out soon if you guys are looking for something like that. And then maybe one larger 30 to 40 gallon offering. I really don't want to. It is quite a pain to ship tanks. If you ever want to get into, you know, running your own business, I'll leave you at the end of this video now with a couple words of advice. You're going to want something, you know, if you want to sell a product, it's not a service. Let's say you're getting into products. Try to look for something that's small. So don't, you know, it's tricky to sell furniture or mattresses or cars or big, heavy things to transport. You know, if you want a global market to sell around the world, go something small, microprocessors, jewelry, small, expensive things. Small, expensive, non-fragile, non-perishable. So I'm an idiot. Don't do what I did. You know what I did? I did large and glass. Big, bulky, fragile. This is the worst candidate for anything you ever want to ship. You want small, indestructible. My dumbass went big, and it doesn't get really more dangerous than shipping this in the mail. I can tell you that Canada Post, FedEx, UPS, and Purolator do not give a damn that it's glass. I think that when I have these fragile stickers I put on the side of the box, I swear to goodness, they rough them up. They like, if they see that, oh, look at that one says fragile, it says glass on it. Let's see, let's make sure. And they'll go, like, that. Don't ever write fragile on the box. It's the worst thing you can do. So don't do what I did. The one part of the business is the hardware, is the glass. Pain in the butt to ship. We've done a pretty good job. We have very, very low breakage rate, but a lot of work and time has gone into that. The second thing that we sell is living animals. We're shipping corals, crabs, snails, and fish. If these things don't get there on time, we're in trouble. We need them to get there in one day. We pray 2 days. Anything past 2 days, it's not very good. So these are the two, I would say, toughest, dumbest things to sell. Perishables, fragile things. Try to do something other than me. Now, I always say on the channel, do as I say, don't do as I do. Learn to do the opposite from March. If you got any questions about this tank, saltwater tanks in general, anything to do with reef keeping, you can always hit us up. I realized quickly, before we let you go, I didn't talk about the light. This is the halo that we also offer, Reef Casa Halo. It's about $140 US. It's got a built-in timer, built-in dimmer, 3 different channels, sunrise, sunset. You program it, you set it, and forget it. And it'll do all this wonders. It's good for 18 by 18 inch square footprint. And how do I know that? Because I got this $800 par meter right over here. We've done so many videos on testing par and why it's important, and from that we were able to design the strength and color of the lights, and it's really easy to program and use, and it's affordable, and you got a warranty through us. If you ever need help, you know, you come right back into the store, we'll give you parts, give you a new one. It's really a no hassle sort of experience, and that's going to be it. Now I'm going to leave you, and I hope to see you guys back here on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Say bye, Twinkie. Bye.